Hello everyone and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Now today I am going to do a greenhouse update. So I haven't done one in a while, so I thought it was about time. Last time I did a greenhouse update, the Sarracenia, they had hardly any pictures. As you can see from the ones beside me, they have all now opened, but all of them have got 2 or more pictures coming, or already out. So I'm going to show you basically a greenhouse tour, everything that's come out now, everything's come out of dormancy, everything that's in flowering. As you can see, I've taken the bags off of the Sarracenia flowers, which were in my previous videos. They've now dropped their petals, and obviously now just have to stay on the plants until about August time to see if I got any seeds from the hybrids that I made. So I can show you the ones beside me, and then I'll switch the camera around and show you the ones over the other side as well. So these obviously are my tallest specimens, hence why they're on the shorter side of my greenhouse, and I'll start by just showing you these ones. Okay, so starting over here we have this smaller one at the back, which is a Flava hybrid. So I don't know the actual name of this one, I got it from Wisley. So it's quite small, but it's got the largest picture out of the 3 Wisley ones I got. These were plants on sale, so I got them in the winter, and they've come out. This one's got quite a nice coloration. It flowered. I do think this one was successful, so you can see how it has swollen up inside. Try and get it focused a bit better. Yeah, so you can see how the oval is obviously swollen up. So I think this one has been successful, but obviously I'll wait and see. Obviously my tallest one out of the collection is this Adrian Slacks Maxima. So as you can see, the tallest picture, which was in my previous video, reached 63 centimetres and has now opened. It's got this lovely coloration on the inside with these nice veinings that come on with later colour. It's also produced 2 more pictures, so it's a very fast grower, this one. Produces some really nice coloured pictures. And these 2 are a bit shorter. This one is a bit crushed in the middle, so it's grown a little bit different to the others, but that one is still one of my favourites in the collection. Another one of my favourites is this Sarracenia rubicorpora. So I love the deep throat colour, so it's like an almost burgundy black colour in the middle of the picture with the yellow lids and the mouth. So again, this one's quite tall and produces some really nice pictures. And then this Leucophila. So these 3, so the Leucophila, rubicorpora and Adrian Slack Maxima, were the first 3 proper Sarracenias I had in my collection, and as you can see, they're also the tallest. So I really like this Leucophila. So it's just a simple Leucophila pubescent form, but I just love it purely because of the colour, and because obviously it was one of the first ones that I got. And then over here is another one that's grown to become one of my favourites, is the Linda Butt. So this is a Morii cross, so Flava cross Leucophila, and as you can see, it's got some really nice purple pictures with the white of the Leucophila, with obviously the green of a Flava as well. And again, that one flowered. Not 100% sure about you know, whether it pollinated or if it was successful or not. I guess I'll just have to wait to see. I'm not 100% sure about being 100% with these, so I guess I'll just have to wait and see. So that's that side, and now I'll flip over the camera and you can see the other side. So on this side is most of my other Sarracenias, so the rest of them are over this side, and as you can see, they've created a really nice display. They're all crowded together. They probably should, you know, be spaced out, but I think I quite like it as a nice collection, and as I get more I could put some more in here as well, look even nicer. So if I start over here, these are ones I got from Wax Wicked Plants. So I said about them in my last video, and they hadn't really grown many pictures, but as you can see, this Sarracenia Tigo has now got 3 pictures. Starts off with this light coppery colour and the yellow in the mouth, and then it goes into these darker kind of pictures, still keeping the copper colour, but obviously being a darker red colour. This one was, I think, one of my favourites I got from Wax, which is the Sarracenia Aureophylla Sand Mountain. So it's got a very nice deep burgundy purple inside the mouth. So it's quite short, this one, compared to the other ones, but it's got a really nice structure, and my first Aureophylla as well. so I really like that one. Got my Pinguicula grandiflora ones that I got from Gamier. They're growing quite big. I've taken a few out and put them in the outside bog planters, which I'll show you how they're doing in another video, as I haven't updated you on those since doing them. These are the ones I took from flower stalk cuttings the previous year. As you can see, they're a massive cluster of them. It really needs dividing. So yeah, you got some. This is another Wisley one at the back here, which is another Flava hybrid. And same with this one just at the front here. Again, another flower. I think this one was also successful because that one's also swollen up. And well, my newest one's the collection, which was the one that was lopsided, which you can still see where I cut the previous growth off, and has now got 3 nice new pictures, which is the Sarracenia Morii Joanna. I've got my Brooks hybrids here, so this one's getting really tall, so the top of the greenhouse is just here, so I might have to move it over to the other side with the others. This one's one of my favourites, I think. I say that to a lot of them, but I really like this one just because of the shape of the back of the lid. So it's like a spade kind of shape. And this is the Sarracenia Flava var ornata, the Pendacounty. So it's nice coloration, really deep red veining on that, which is really nice. And it's got loads of tiny little babies at the bottom, which I can divide in the winter. And I've got some, this is a Sarracenia Wilkinson's White Knight cross Oreophylla. It produces some really nice big tubes, quite a young one, so it'll create some obviously bigger ones as it gets older. And this little odd one at the back is a Sarracenia Flava Rupercorpora Blackwater. So you can see that one there, it's got some nice deep like red purple veining. My Cephalotus is here, so you can see how it's got some nice new green growth. So the old pictures obviously were this red colour during winter, and now got some unopened pictures here and a lot more leaves, so I might do some leaf pullings in another video. I took some previously in the winter and I've got one baby because I only took 2, but I got 1, so that's quite a good success rate, which is growing quite big at the moment. My Speculata at the back here, all flowered. Should have probably cut them off because they spread a little bit like weeds, so I'm likely to get loads of them up in my pots now. This one is one of my Sarracenia Morii cross Leucophila seedlings, so I had these last year, sowed them from seed, and they've grown really big, as you can see. This one's the biggest. I'll show you the other ones just in a second because they're underneath the bench that I'm currently showing you. So out the Flytraps, my fused tooth is looking good. The traps are finally fusing. Got my Beastie Boy, is producing some nice big pictures. As you can see, it caught a spider there. And my Darwin's slowly growing as well. Red Piranha at the back here. Filiform is also flowered, so as you can see, there's 4 flower stalks on those. And they're looking really nice. And my Anglica I also got from Wax, but again isn't really growing much, but it did flower as well, so hopefully that will grow a bit more after I cut that flower stalk off, once I collect the seeds from it. And then the rest of the ones that were in the pot are in a separate pot here. And also you've got my smaller purpurias at the back there. So I will just show you now underneath the bench at the rest of the Leucophila cross Morii seedlings. Okay, so this is the rest of my Leucophila cross Morii seedlings. As you can see, they're not as big as the other one, because these ones were all cramped together in one pot. The other one's always been in a separate pot since sowing the seed, and now they've been separated, they are growing quite big. So some of them are getting distinctive traits, so some of them getting their veining, some of them getting colour. As you can probably see, some of them are quite misshapen. I've still got a few aphids in the greenhouse, which I suffer with at this kind of time of year, so I will be treating these. I've been slowly taking them off when I see them, and I will be spraying them with some diluted, probably Provanto, to so it's safe for obviously these carnivorous plants, but it will help as well reduce my aphid problem hopefully, and hopefully these will be able to grow a bit better. So they are growing a bit better since taking the aphids off myself, but there is still aphids on these somewhere, which obviously just need dealing with so they can grow properly. And obviously at the back I've got some more carnivorous plants, mainly just seeds and things coming up. So I've got some like baby filiformis here at the back, some ferns and some mainly smaller seedlings, stuff I just put to the back just to get out of the way to allow myself to have more space. And this tray here is just odd stuff, so more Anglica, some Flytraps and some Capensis seedlings. And then obviously I'll show you the rest of what I got to show you up on top of my benches. So the most impressive display I think of plants I've got in my greenhouse at the moment is these typical Flytraps. So this is my bunny bog planter, and as you can see it's really grown. So this I'm not really sure what it is actually, like this conifer type in there, which I left in there, which was just a weed in the soil, but I left in there because it looked nice. Obviously it's grown quite a lot and it's quite a crowd at the back, but they are, all three of the typicals are flowering, as you can see, and they're producing a really nice display. So I was going to do a video of how to pollinate these, which I will do shortly, as you can see, because they are flowering quite a lot. So yeah, the Flytraps produce these really nice white flowers, and I've been pollinating some of them already, and now these two are opening up so I could pollinate them with each other. So yeah, I'll do a video on that very soon. But as you can see, the growth slowed down on these. They were quite vigorous upright, but you can see the small growth has kind of dropped down, and the new growth is a bit smaller, just as due to obviously them flowering, but it won't kill them, they'll be absolutely fine. They just obviously slow down while they're flowering. Got some more of those Leucophila crossmoria seedlings in here, and there's a baby Flytrap in there with obviously some small Flytraps that have come from the rhizome at the back there. And then if we go over to the Sundew cottage garden that I made, so as you can see, this fern has really taken off. It's very big at the moment. So I might have to cut it down or repot it, but I don't really want to disturb anything. So at the moment it's okay, it's maintainable, it's not really hurting anything. Might start hurting these seedlings down here in the seed corner that I've got. So as you can see, the seeds started germinating, so it looks like I've got a Banata in there, and maybe a Spatulata. So these were just a mixed seed packet, so I'm not really sure what I'll get. Again, another Leucophila crossmoria seedling. And then I've got some Spatulata and some Pygmy Sundews up this hill, with some Capensis as well at the side. And then there's bits and bobs hidden in here as well, so there's another Pulchella Pygmy Sundew in there with a little fern. And some ones at the back. And then over here I've got my Uticularia. So it's only got one flower at the moment, which is kind of face down. But that will start flowering quite rapidly soon. I've got 3 pots of this, which I usually keep under the benches, but I've taken it up just because of the purpose of the video to show you. So it's got some quite small bunny-like flowers. It's a shame that that one's obviously facing down, it's quite hard to see. My Pygmy Sundew, some of them aren't looking as great being in the pots together. Some of them died down a bit. Some of them are doing quite well. The Scorpiolas are doing the best, so they've all survived. I think I've only lost 1 or 2 since planting them from Gamier. And they're, you know, tall, got really nice colour, and the leaves are lovely. As well as these Rosanna at the back, if I just grab them. That was a bit hard to get these, but yeah. So as you can see, the Rosanna here. Got a really nice colour, they're really dewy, so they're probably the best growers at the moment. Just pop them. Yeah. So this is one of my favourite plants, is the Regia. So this is a Drosera Regia, and it wasn't looking the greatest on my last video, so I'd only just moved it into the greenhouse, and now it's looking really good. So the leaves are standing upright, it's got really big. I am fertilising this one, so as you can see I've got the Osmocote pellet in here. I've got 2 in here. So unlike other carnivorous plants, you can fertilise these ones with, you know, some Osmocote pellets, or some people do foliar feeding. They seem to tolerate a bit of feed. These Drosera Regia are quite fussy. If they're not fed, then they do decline. So this one, as you can see, hasn't had any problems with me putting those Osmocote pellets in there, and is growing really nice. I repotted it into this big, long, tall pot so it could allow for root growth. So that's very healthy at the moment, really happy with that. So I've got this other little planter down here, which I put most of my Pygmy Sundews in, and as you can see, they've grown a lot better being in this plant than being in the smaller one on their, you know, clamped together, despite these also being planted close together, but they've got the best growth on them. Apart from that Scorpio's in the back. That was my oldest one, which doesn't look that great. Got my typical Banata form here. And then over here is the Drosera Banata var dictamata. So as you can see, the leaves on this are massive. They're not growing how they should, so they've got the staghorn type leaf. But that might be because it's in flower, so it might again be slowed down, affecting the shape of the leaf. But it's massive, so it does take up most of this planter. As you can see, even the leaves here are massive, and it kind of crowds everything else that's in here. So I've got lots of capensis, but you can hardly see them. I've got 3 pots of this Banata in here, but you can only mainly see this big one. But they are flowering at the moment, so this is the flowers they have closed. They were open earlier, but I've pollinated them as well, hoping to get seed from them. But that is practically everything I've got. Unfortunately, this flower did break, but it still seems to be opening and closing, so I've just kept it on for now. I did have a pigeon come in my greenhouse the other day, and it did knock this tray over. Well, the ones off the side, which was really annoying, but I guess that's just how it happens. But the plants are all fine. As you can see, they didn't get crushed or anything. They just got a bit of perlite stuck to them, which was fine. Luckily, they did just fall on the bag of perlite, so they didn't fall on the floor. But that is everything I've currently got updated. As you can see, everything's growing really well and looking a lot better than it did. So I really hope you enjoyed this video and have a nice day. Thank you.